if there's an offer that comes down that's of interest, that works for me and my family, then of course I'm gonna take that call and have that conversation. Is it a goal of mine to go back to WWE? No. Is it a goal of mine to be in AEW? No.
Things are different now in 2021. Like the social media is different, but the wrestling world is very different. Would you be open to a return to WWE, or even maybe a potential to like the second biggest promotion right now, All Elite Wrestling? Would you be open to making your presence known there?
Yes, if only WWE would offer me the exact same contract Brock Lesnar has.
Smart man.
Listen, I want his money, and I want the exact same number of dates. You see what I'm saying? Like that, I have zero interest. I'll tell you truthfully, although there is a little bit of truth in that. I have exactly zero interest in being on the road full time. At 38 years old, hopping on one leg for the past 30 years, father of three, as well as my other businesses that I'm involved in as well, that I find an amazing amount of fulfillment and opportunity. But however, if there was, hey, listen, my phone's on. You emailed me yesterday, and here we are talking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's just that simple. Where if there's an offer that comes down that's of interest, that works for me and my family, then of course I'm gonna take that call and have that conversation. Is it a goal of mine to go back to WWE? No. Is it a goal of mine to be in AEW? No. My goal is to do the next right thing and help as many people as I possibly can, and to continue growing my other businesses, and to continue growing as a father and as a husband. But if that opportunity comes, and that's kind of what's laid out for me, then of course I'll entertain that phone call. There's no question about it. But to answer your question, it's like, yeah, I guess I'm open to it. Am I trying to get there? No. Do I not want to get there? No. It's just life, man. We live one day at a time. You never know what can happen.
Absolutely. You got to go with the punches. Like you said, it could be a shock when you're losing your role in WWE. What would be one thing, as we wrap this interview up, what would be one thing you would say to anyone who's been recently released in WWE, or even to yourself when you got released from WWE? What would Zach Gowen in 2021 tell Zach Gowen back in 2004?
Tell him to sit down and shut up, man. Shut your mouth, know your role. You know what I'm saying? I hit him with a rock. Yeah, you can't tell. It's hard to. That certain advice that you give to people has to have a certain amount of weight. And listen, man, to anybody who's been released over the past, you're fine. You're in a great position. Just keep working, keep your head down, keep doing the next right thing, keep growing as a person. And that's going to open up opportunities later on in life. Your life is certainly not over just because you're not a WWE superstar. Are you kidding me? But I do want to say that I think there is a space for, as you were talking, I was thinking about something else. I do that sometimes. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I think there's a space in professional wrestling for people who have overcome disabilities.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And I think there's so many talented independent wrestlers out there. And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about Gregory Iron, Michael Hayes out in Kentucky, who's missing his leg, who wrestles with his prosthetic. And there's others as well that have overcome physical disabilities and have become amazing entertainers and professional wrestlers, and have become reliable and bankable. And yet in a world where diversity is plastered all over every advertisement and social media, and it's everybody's directive, the fact that there's not, someone like Gregory Iron on Impact or WWE or AEW is, I think it's ridiculous, and because you think about the backstory, you think about his ability to connect with an audience, The fact that he's been doing this for 14, 15 years, you put Gregory Iron in any situation and he'll get over. He's got a brilliant mind when it comes to creative for professional wrestling. And the fact that Gregory Iron remains unsigned to me is a travesty. And I think a lot of the wrestling business, what we like to do, or certain promotions anyway, and companies, they like to promote something, but there's no foundation and they don't really back it up all that well. And I'm not bearing WWE or AEW or anybody else. I'm just saying because they're a business, and at the end of the day, their job is to make money. It's really that simple. And so and it seems like the best way to go about doing that in 2021 is to promote this idea of diversity and inclusion for everybody and all of this. And that to me seems like a pathway to their bottom line, which is great. But my thought is, well, let's back that up with some more action. And again, they've done an amazing job, especially with the women over the past 5 years, like in WWE, because when I was there, man, it was, Dawn Marie and Tori Wilson in a bra and panties match every week.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so the fact that women now are main eventing WrestleMania and their matches are absolutely incredible. The leaps and bounds they've taken. It's just been nuts, man. And so I think there's room for more of that, as well as the LGBT community as well, man. I think about Jake Atlas and NXT. Listen, man, this dude is freaking incredible. Have you seen Jake?
Yes.
At NXT?
Very talented.
Listen, I saw this dude at a wrestling event in Los Angeles a couple of years ago. And I walk into the arena and then he comes up to me and introduces himself and says hello. And just this whole demeanor, right? Big smile, confident, just good looking dude. Just it's very pleasant to meet normal people inside of the wrestling business. It's really refreshing at a certain point, and then I'm there with my wife and she's watching the show and I'm watching the show as well from backstage. And Jake Atlas just has the match of the night. It's just absolutely incredible. And then afterwards, my wife, who's not even a wrestling fan, pulls me aside. She's like, that Jake guy was so good. And I'm like, dude, he was the best babyface I've seen live in many, many years. Right. And then a year or so later, he gets signed, which is great. It's expected. And what I love about Jake Atlas is that he's gay, but that's not his gimmick. He's just a badass, just fantastic wrestler who happens to be gay, who's comfortable in his skin. And that's what I tried to do back in 2002, 2003, when I started coming in. I didn't want to be like the handicap wrestler. I wanted to be a good wrestler who happened to be handicapped. And I think there's such an opportunity for that to present on national television and worldwide television as well. So WWE and AEW and all of that, they've made amazing strides in terms of diversity and inclusion, and it's also helped their bottom line. But I think there's still more work to be done as well in certain areas. So that's many words, but that's a long way of saying I think Gregory Iron deserves a contract somewhere, and I think he should get it sooner rather than later.
Absolutely agree with you, and absolutely agree with everything you said. We've come a very long way from when you were in WWE, whether it's from the women, whether it's the opportunities for the LGBTQ plus community, as well as, but we need more opportunities for people that have overcome physical disabilities, which you have been a very inspiring wrestler for all of those folks. Well, as we finish this interview up, Zach, please tell the people where they can find you on social media, any of the projects and the businesses that you got going on, so they can follow you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's real simple. We're all on social media, that's it. There's a few things. The one I have a one-man live show coming up in September here in Detroit at a really amazing venue. I'm going to announce that next week. And that's something new and exciting, man. I'm like the one-legged Forrest Gump. You see what I'm saying? I'm not that smart. I'm not that talented. I just do stuff, and I find myself in some really amazing positions in life. And it's simply because the answer is always yes, unless it's no. and I'm scared or I'm afraid or I've never done this before is not a good enough reason to say no. So when the opportunity came up for me to produce my own live show, my own one-man show here in Detroit, I'm like, I got really scared in my gut. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when I get that feeling, that means I know I have to do it, and I have to overcome that fear to be able to do it. So, but yeah, there's wrestling dates all over the country, and speaking dates and yoga dates and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just follow me on social media if you'd like. I try to stay active, and if you have questions, send them my way, man. It's just that, hey, man, we're all just wrestling fans at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's really that simple.
Yes, thank you so much for your time, Zach. This was an insightful, a very captivating. You have such an inspiring story throughout your life and your career, and I'm gonna follow you myself and follow your journey the rest of the way, brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the interest. And again, smash that like button, leave a comment, hit the share button, turn the noties on. Show, man, that's what we got to do in 2021, man. If we like something, we got to support it. We got to show love, and we got to share it with other people. Simple as that.
You know it. You did my job for me, so I could just sign off. Thank you. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of this interview. Follow Zach Gowen on all your favorite social media platforms. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3 for Sportskeeda Wrestling. For Zach Gowen, we are signing off until next time.